Sonic the Hedgehog is one of the most iconic, long-running video game icons, with a lot of history spanning back to 1991. He's got 2D games, 3D games, comic books, TV shows, movies, you name it, he's got it. And when a series has so many games across a long history, it only makes sense to see a few re-releases here and there. I mean, not everyone was around to experience Sonic on the actual Genesis. I was born after those games, but luckily didn't know any better and played them that way anyway. And Sega certainly has made those select Mega Drive games available countless times over the years. A port to Saturn, then GameCube and PS2, the PS3 collection, and even the Switch has 3 ways of playing the 16-bit Sonics, with Genesis Collection, Sega Ages, and most recently, Nintendo Switch Online Expansion. But there's even a 4th option on the horizon, Sonic Origins Collection. There's not much info on this yet, but we do know it features Sonic 1, 2, CD, and yes, even 3 and Knuckles, which aren't available on all the collections. But the standout feature of this collection is that the games are in widescreen, which means one of 2 things. Either Sega's finally bringing the Christian Whitehead versions off the dang phone and onto console, or they spent additional resources to alter these games even though they already have definitive versions. And honestly, when it comes to Sega, it's anyone's guess the way they handle business. For now, I'll assume these are the Whitehead versions, as there's no other reason to re-release these all again. And if that is the case, perhaps that Sonic 3 on there is also a redone Whitehead version. I mean, I don't know what the Taxman's been up to since Mania Plus, and he has pitched a Sonic 3 to Sega, who likely didn't pick it up due to the whole Jackson Music situation. But if they're doing Sonic 3 now, why not make it the best version possible, like the Sonic 1, 2, and CD remakes? Though we'll find that out soon enough. But there's plenty of other Sonic games that need love too. The Master System and Game Gear games used to be thrown around as freebies. Sonic Adventure DX had them to unlock. Gems Collection had them as a bonus. And they were even the plus in Mega Collection. But since it's been how many years since then, it would be great if they were also a bonus on Origins Collection. But let's go back to Gems for a moment. Sonic Gems Collection is kind of out of left field if you think about it. It's the GameCube era, and Sega decides to give us a few obscure Sonic games, including Sonic the Fighters, an arcade fighting game made by the creators of Virtua Fighter and Fighting Vipers. Sonic R, which is an on-foot racing game with a very notable soundtrack. And Sonic CD, which is much more respected these days, but I feel like few people really cared back then. But this collection is awesome. I'd never played any of these games prior to their GameCube debut, and without it, I'd have to wait till 2011 for Taxman CD, 2012 for Fighters on PS3, or more recently 2021 for Fighters and Lost Judgment. And who knows when I'd get to play Sonic R. So a collection like this is something I'd like to see more of. Okay, so I've got a pitch for you. Sonic Rings Collection. 4 underappreciated Sonic games. Do they ring a bell? Starting with Sega Sonic the Hedgehog, the 1993 arcade game featuring the origin of Mighty and Ray. That'd get some attention following Mania Plus. This game's main attraction is the trackball mechanic. Now obviously modern controllers don't feature trackballs, but the PS4 and PS5 touchpads could work well on this, and the Switch could simply use the touchscreen. Though I would like to see joystick support worked into it as well. It may not be ideal, but I played this emulated years ago with keyboard arrows, and it was fine. With some fine tuning, it could work well. Next game in Rings collection, Sonic 3D Blast. Now this game has been re-released multiple times, but with one catch. It's always the Genesis version, which is good in its own right, but many people may not know there is a separate version of the game, released on Saturn. It features improved graphics, with many of the visuals completely redone, weather effects, which give the game a different feel to it, new special stages, and a half-pipe, as opposed to the bridge, and lastly, an incredible new soundtrack. Just like how CD has two separate soundtracks that are both very good, 3D Blast has the same with its soundtracks. The Genesis one is a classic, but the Saturn OST is just so atmospheric. It kinda changes the context of the game. Third up, Sonic Jam. This may be a strange choice, but hear me out. Sonic Jam's main draw was to be able to play Sonic 1 through and Knuckles on the Sega Saturn. Though these aren't emulations of the Genesis games, they're genuine ports. With new features such as an easy mode, time attack mode, and options to play without a timer, or just play the special stages if you want. There's also a Sonic 2 in Knuckles. With Origins on the way, this would only be a little novelty to try out these features. I don't think anyone would forego that collection because they had this one. But funny enough, the games aren't the reason I want a port of Sonic Jam. The most impressive feature of Sonic Jam is the hub world, called Sonic World. Here, you run around the first truly explorable environment in the Sonic series. There's also a few missions you can achieve, but they don't get all that substantial. It would just be a blast to experience this little feature firsthand. But also included in Jam is tons of museum content, so that could certainly keep us occupied. And finally, the standout feature to my imaginative Sonic Rings collection, Knuckles Chaotix. This game was released on the 32X, which means almost no one has played it. It has some notable flaws, but I've got a secret weapon. Christian Whitehead. I've mentioned him before, but with good reason. This man has skill, and a love for the Sonic series many of us can resonate with. He and his team were responsible for the best versions of Sonic 1, 2, and CD, as well as bringing us the critically acclaimed Sonic Mania. I don't mean to just go around assigning work to the man, but assuming Sonic 3 is either in the works or off the table, there's only one classic 2D Sonic game left to touch up, and it needs it more than any of the others. This game is rough around many edges, but in the right hands, it could become a masterpiece. Here's my suggestions. Tightened controls with a fixed ring mechanic. The original game took some getting used to play. Its ring mechanic is interesting, where you and a partner rubber band around the stage, but it's often annoying to control. I don't know what the solution is, but I'm sure there's some way this could be made more intuitive. I would like a let go feature, so you and your partner can explore like a normal Sonic character, then use the ring mechanic when necessary. Some levels would need to be altered, but that would probably be for the best. Have it be a reimagining of Knuckles Chaotix levels, with the same visuals and level mechanics, but put together with a bit more care. The ideal way to play this would be with a friend, so why not add that split screen effect ToeJam and Earl has, where it's full screen when you're together, and splits when you do. And for online, well, each player would get their own full view. And while we're going through the trouble, why not add Sonic and Tails to the game? I mean, besides the plain end screen. They were meant to be in this game back when it was Sonic Crackers, and even that prototype could be worked in as an additional level. Also, a definite character select screen would be nice, instead of the UFO catcher giving it to you by chance. All in all, Knuckles Chaotix has heart, and as a piece of Sonic's history, it deserves to be made accessible again, even if it's just the same standard port. After all, it's the origin of 3 Sonic characters who still get screen time to this day. Okay, that's all for Rings Collection, but there's a few other collections I'd like Sega to bless us with. Sonic Advance Collection. Simple enough, it's Sonic Advance 1, 2, and 3 all in one place. These games are real good. Many people might think 2D Sonic games ended with Sonic and Knuckles, and didn't make a comeback until Sonic 4, and then properly in Sonic Mania. But no, there's always been 2D Sonic. Working backwards, before there was Forces, Generations, and Colors doing the 2D, there was adaptations on the 3DS, Rush and Rush Adventure on the DS, Rivals on the PSP, and finally, Sonic Advance 1, 2, and 3 on, well, the Game Boy Advance. It's the true continuation of the 2D formula, playing similar in a way to the old Genesis games, but adding in some more modern features. It's almost a crime these games never got a re-release. I'm sure not many people are dusting off their Game Boys to play this, so why not let us have it on more current hardware? The games look good as is, but even a graphical touch-up would be nice. Nothing crazy like hand-drawn or 2.5D, more like with the Pixel remasters. Maybe even throw in Sonic Battle to sweeten the deal, and maybe Pinball Party as a bonus? Sonic, the Adventure Collection. Some of the most well-liked and most requested games in the series, Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. Originally on the Dreamcast, then on the GameCube. These games have been ported since, but they're not, say, definitive experiences. We need Sonic Adventure brought back right. Many of us fans want full-on remakes, but honestly, I don't see that happening. Recreating levels, revising a similar script, revoicing all the lines, and replacing janky animations would take a lot of the soul out of it, I think. What I mean is that certain charm would be lost. But that doesn't mean we should stop there. What I want to see is remastered visuals, like cleaner models and improved textures, widescreen 16:9, tweaked character controls, and an overhauled camera. The game can remain the same, but be a better version of itself. And let's use the Dreamcast versions as the base, not DX. Do this for Adventure 1, do this for Adventure 2, but remember, this is a collection, not a dual pack, so throw in Sonic Heroes. It's in the same era, and not just that, Shadow the Hedgehog. I don't care what anyone says, I love this game. I'll touch on that another time, but for the sake of this collection, It was released around the time of the other games, at least they're all on the same console, and the level design is right in line with the adventure games. You know, aside from all the gunfire.
Hey, not bad!
But there it is, 4 full games from the adventure era of Sonic. Riders would be a neat bonus too, but I'm already asking a lot here. The last thing I've got for you today isn't even a collection, but I feel it needs some praise. Sonic the Hedgehog 2006. Yes, Sonic 06, and I am not joking. This game has been bashed to hell and back, and it's understandable. But I feel people got lost in the laughter and forgot why this game was bad to start with. It was rushed by Sega to hit a deadline, which resulted in glitch after glitch after glitch. There's no getting around that, though I feel we should get a fix for it. Game patches at the time were still a new concept, so many games just stayed how they were released. I played through the whole game, and it was rough, but there's a beautiful experience underneath all the glitches. 3 character playstyles, an interesting story, and good level design featuring Sonic Adventure style gameplay, the last in the series before Boost took over. This is one of Sega's children, and they abandoned it twice. Once with a rushed release, and again by never acknowledging it. If this is the game that made your IP a sort of laughingstock, then it's time you set the record straight, Sega. This game could be great if you show it some love. I genuinely feel the mass amount of glitches is the only thing holding this game back. And, you know, while you're at it, you can alter that one scene. Take the next 4 years to really make it the best it can be, and name it this: Sonic 2026. A nod to the fact that this game's colloquially called Sonic 06 after its release year, now being released 20 years later. And on top of that, a little joke at your own expense, being a reference to both Cyberpunk 2077 and Fallout 76. 2 games that also had catastrophic releases. Only in this instance, it's the well-polished experience it should have been to begin with. And this little self-referential joke will tell the fans, look, we messed up. We acknowledge that. But let's have a laugh together, and we'll show you what we can really do. Well, that's all a dream anyway. Will any of this happen? Who knows? Though there is hope out there in the form of P06, a fan-made remake of Sonic 06. Hey Sega, maybe you could give these guys a hand and pull another Mania? Like, buy the Mania, for the Mania? I think everyone would benefit from this. Anyway, Sonic's been speeding steadily for 30 years now, and he's not slowing down anytime soon. So with Sonic Frontiers on the horizon, I only hope for great things to come from that. The second movie's looking outstanding, and hopefully Origin Collection gives us what we want from it. The future of Sonic is looking bright. But in the meantime, maybe Sega can bring us up to speed on this Blue Blur's countless adventures over the years. With collections like the ones I've mentioned today, and with standalone re-releases continuing on from Colors Ultimate to titles like Unleashed or Generations, or a Secret Rings Black Knight Dual Pack. Make it happen, Sega. And thank you everyone for watching.